Hello, so this is my trade recap from yesterday morning. Made about $232. This was my SL, my TP right here. And my entry was at this fair value gap, the first 5-minute fair value gap at the 10 a.m. silver bullet market kill zone. It's at New York session, obviously. And these were my, this was taken on the 5-minute, but on the 15-minute, we see these draws of liquidity right here. Sell side, and we had Asia highs taking out London highs and high time frame highs right here. And so it was being taken out here. And you look at the out, yes, this was it. Coming to market open, my bias was initially bearish here, simply because, again, it just came down here a lot. Because at market open, it just kind of over here again, but it was at the discount. It was at the over here, so we look at from here to here. It looked like it was at discount for discount, because that's how price moves after a sweep and sweep. Also, plus we had these. We'll explain that later. But it came down here. Price came down here at this FEG over here. Coincidentally, this FEG was at Asia, and so what made me take this trade was the switch in bias. After taking out, manipulating, and taking out, doing a stop raise and going up here to offset these orders, because they grabbed liquidity from over here, going up into market open. Then at 10 a.m. that's when kill zone session starts. So yeah, my prediction was it was going to go towards these high time frame highs, which was all the way here. You can see to these highs, these relatively equal highs around this area ish on average. So yeah, that prompted me to enter off the 5-minute right here, going for originally I wanted 1 of 5, but then I closed out early, going 1 to 1, and so yeah, I just so was at the bottom of the imbalance. Well, not the bottom, but over here instead of here, simply because I really didn't like the risk to reward ratio on that. Not only that, besides market, it wasn't the majority of the volatility was already prior to 10 a.m. So kind of slow, but it was in my opinion, I guess, it looked like a high probability trade, even with not as volume as to 9:30 New York open for Nasdaq. So my goals were gonna hit these earlier high time frame highs, and here I'll show you right now the replay of how I entered originally. So that's kind of the entrance of the FEG, and then I just quickly scaled up. And this was on TikTok with this edit. You guys go check that out. Leave a link in the description below. But what I came to the conclusion before this, what happened prior to market open, was obviously, so this was on I believe this was on on Tuesday, and price came here, chopped, we got previous day's highs, and coming into Asia, we did that, we took out previous day's highs, kind of here, and then we kind of selling pressure up, and then after Asia, we kind of took almost Asia high before, here, breaking the structure and filling this gap over here, this high of London. We came down here, swept lows before up, this kind of low right here, created for kind of closing positions and stopping out, only just for price to come up to take out these here before coming down. And this S&T, before and around 8:30 there was obviously a dump over here. Kind of this red bullish candle was kind of a dump and a manipulation up here from New York 9:30 open, tricking participants to go up for bullish, but just wicked it, and then instead we went down. A lot of people lost this trade, thinking that, yeah, we're gonna down to these. We never ended up doing it. Instead, we went back up here. What also helped me was kind of like for MES, we had the highs, and maybe we had these bearish highs as well. We had bearish highs. So bearish S&T, bearish S. As for MQ, obviously we kind of pre-market, we had these high time frame bullish S&T. So how I kind of knew to go down, just had to look at MES first, and then MES first, because it was the lagging index. So kind of caution to partake in the trade early, and kind of market structure on the 5-minute with the 1-minute displacement, and the amount of 1-minute market structure shift, and the amount of displacements going, and the amount of inversions we made on the FEG imbalance, inversions we made on the 1-minute, plus these displacements, this to the market structure shift, prompted me to think that we'll hit buy side liquidity. And at 10 a.m. obviously I kind of had a chance that we might hit that other high time frame high, like I said earlier. We almost did, but we didn't. All the way over here, it was the high time frame before I deleted it. It was all the way over here. That was my original TP before closing early. Again, I closed at right here, I believe so. I believe I closed around here before dumping, because I closed around here, I believe so, because I did enter on the 5-minute. Around again, I had to close because I set I entered off of setting I believe it was 2 contracts, splitting a contract at the 75% of the way to my, obviously, since it kind of price was low, I put my SL over here. We hit that before going back down, and around 12, I had to just close it early on altogether, and I took profits just simply because we weren't really going anywhere. And at noon, from 12 to 1, price action doesn't look too well, just because it's around lunch and not many people are on the markets until it doesn't get volatile until around 2 p.m. during New York kill zone, which your PM session. And so yeah. That's that. I guess the way would be not to close trades too early at the point. Maybe let trades run, because if I would have let it run, I would have hit my original TP and would have hit original TP, and I would have made a significant, much more money. But at the same time, I don't want money on the table, because there's a possibility that I could tag me in and put and hit my stop loss. But either way, since this sell limit was right here, I put my S break entry at the end fair value gap. So it is what it is. But at the same time, I don't like my trades being that long. Again, I'm not, because I would have to be recording the whole entire day, because I record most of my trades. So yeah, that's how I kind of bias up. Yeah, and it's interesting and so this is where I trade early, obviously. And then overnight during Asian, obviously we price made this bullish run over higher high, lower low, higher. Looks like there's a change in market structure shift coming into the New York session, so we'll see what that do. This was yesterday's trade on Tuesday, so yeah. So I'm going to the next session, and we'll see what price does after that for Wednesday's price action. And yeah, this is a win in a row. Basically, for me, just getting started on the following my rules, following risk, going more for that consistency and that and precision rather than focusing on pro. I've not had a losing trade for the longest, so we can keep if we do get a losing trade, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We can still obviously win. It's a loss, but yeah, let's see what the market delivers us today, coming into 2 days. So yeah, I'll have that uploaded today. Anyway, subscribe. See ya.